Hey everybody, it's Master Gallengeist here, bringing you my review of the first season of One Punch Man. And I really wanted to see this anime, and I was really glad when Netflix got it. I just had to wait a little bit because first they had to pull the dub because it was out of sync, and then I got to an episode where the subtitles were out of sync. Then I had to pretty much wait for that to get resolved, and I was finally able to a little while ago, and I gotta tell you, I really enjoy this anime. I put it on level of enjoyment for me for Gurren Lagann because it just makes fun of like fighting anime and all that stuff, whereas Gurren Lagann made fun of mecha anime and all that kind of stuff, and it just did it so well. The humor is really well done throughout this, following this dude Saitama as this guy who can pretty much beat anyone in one punch. And of course, we see him like doing all this stuff. We see all these like hallmarks to certain anime characters where like in the first episode we just see this guy that looks similar to an Namekian from Dragon Ball and everything. And it's just amazing seeing like the level of artwork and the level of the fight scenes. I mean, they're really cool, and especially you have to do them epically if the dude can pretty much end everything in one punch. So he's going on doing his stuff, pretty much kind of being bored that he can beat everybody in one punch, where he gets into a situation where this like mosquito is like bugging the shit out of him, is trying to kill it, and he meets up with this cyborg dude, Genos. And of course, we see that this mosquito woman is like super powered and everything Genos is doing is not working correctly. And of course, it gets to where Saitama just punches her and she's like destroyed. He's like, "Take me as your disciple, please." He's like, "I'm not really looking for this right now." No. He's like, "No, you must teach me." And of course, we see and learn all the stuff that he had been wounded and lost everything to this other cyborg and got all these enhancements to fight this cyborg. And he wants to get stronger and be better and everything, no matter what. And Saitama just wants to be a hero. And of course, they get drawn into the whole Heroes Association and everything. And he's like, "Okay, if we do this and get into the Heroes Association, then I'll take you as my disciple." Alright, so it's kind of cool seeing them going in. And of course, before this, they've taken out this guy who was like trying to practice evolution and make stronger people and everything because he was bored and nobody understood his genius and everything. And of course, Genos had like destroyed this building, and the Hero Association was like, "We need to find this person." So they both take their test. Saitama, of course, scores a perfect on the physical, and Genos scored both perfect on both parts of the exam and got S rank, and Saitama got C rank. And he's like, "It must be a mistake or something. Did you have an interview?" Because they were talking to him about him blowing up that building and everything. Like, "Oh, that's really powerful and everything." So they then learn all this stuff about the Heroes Association, how you've got to go all through these ranks from C to get to like, he was like 300 something in rank C, had to get to like rank 1 and then flip over to B, A, and all that, and learning about these heroes and how they really kind of are heroes but aren't, and how they're like making fun of like heroes in general and other anime stuff because they get to a point where all these heroes are trying to take on the Deep Sea King, and see each monster is getting progressively bigger and like badder. And of course, Saitama is still looking for that challenge and can still pretty much beat everybody in one punch. But it's kind of cool seeing him go through this transformation because everybody's like pretty much making him out to be a villain because calling him cheat and a fraud for doing everything how he's doing it. Because when we get to the Deep Sea King part, all these heroes are fighting the Deep Sea King and losing. We see this prisoner dude who escaped from prison. He turned into his angel form, which was him just getting naked. And still getting beaten by the Deep Sea King person. And of course, nobody's being able to beat him. Genos hurt him as he was trying to protect everybody in the evacuation shelter that had been built up. But he gets pretty much ripped apart because he tried to protect this little girl from this acid that he'd done. And of course, Saitama shows up after Mumen Rider, this C-class hero who everybody really likes. He tries his hardest to be like the best hero that can be, but he doesn't really have that many special powers or anything. He just wants to help people, and that's what he was doing, standing up against to this Deep Sea King. But of course, the Deep Sea King's on a whole nother level. And of course, it's raining and everything, and that gives him regenerative powers, as we've seen in other battles. And Saitama just comes up and one punches him, and everybody's like, oh, I guess he must not have been really that tough. And he keeps playing into this kind of like villain cheater role to make sure that it saves the reputation of the heroes. And that's a cool thing. He's being a hero for the right reasons, where we see this hero association, some of the heroes don't do it for the right reasons, are just crazy people. So eventually everything escalates to the point that this prophecy seer has this prophecy that the Earth is in trouble. And it's funny because it's got all the S-class heroes, and we see them, they're all pretty cool and everything, and Saitama's there's the B-class because of what he did with the Deep Sea King. And everybody's like, oh god, did what you see was so terrible that she died? No. She saw it, had a coughing fit, took a cough drop, and choked on it and died. And it was just that kind of weird humor just throughout the whole thing. And it's just like, yes. And we'd seen previously, humor-wise, like Saitama getting pissed off because he had the wrong day for a sale. And he just one punch this dude to get out and get there faster. It's just that kind of stuff that really fits well in this anime. So we figure out that the Earth's in trouble. And of course it picks that day, and it's this giant alien spaceship, and it's... The S-class heroes have trouble dealing with these people, but of course Saitama's just like going through the ship, and we find it's like, this is the god-level threat. Humanity's extinction. And we get this really amazing, epic fight scene between Saitama and the Pirate King Buros, who had, of course, in space, there was a pirate fleet and everything. He became so strong, he was bored. He found this person, this prophecy giver, who said, in 20 years, you'll find this person on Earth that will be the strongest out of anyone. And, of course, Saitama, and they just had this really cool battle. And, of course, up until this point, nobody's been able to withstand him. This dude's got regenerative powers and everything, and like regenerates an arm and all that, and unleashes the like strongest attacks, and this just sends Saitama to the moon, and then he comes back, and they both unleash their like best moves, and Saitama's is just serious punch, and he destroys him, and it was just, he's like, you were holding back, weren't you? And you're like, yep. Guess it's back to just one punching people, as we see at the end, because this other king of the underworld, because there was a lot of kings, and then he one punches them. It's like, jeez. And we see everybody kind of like evolve, like Genos learning stuff from Saitama, and Saitama just like making stuff up as he goes along. He doesn't know how to be a mentor to him, and actually really truly being a mentor, even though he doesn't want to be or doesn't know how to be. And just seeing Genos being a hero for the sake of being a hero and learning that, where everybody else, you see this one dude murder all these alien people. Is like, nope, I'm not gonna have that happen because they captured him. And Genos is like, nope, that's how I used to be, and I'm glad I'm not that. And seeing like this other dude who just like remote controls people and like these robots, and just uses it to take the alien stuff, rebuild the HQ, and make his own weapons and everything. And it was just a really cool arc to see all of these crazy, insane situations, and then seeing what Saitama did with them, not how he won them, because we know he's going to one-punch his way out of it, pretty much. And it's funny because we learned that his secret super regiment to doing that was just like 100 push-ups, 100 sit-ups, 100 squats, running 10 kilometers a day, every day for 3 years. And that made him bald. And he's like, damn it. And seeing what inspired him to do it, because he was looking for a job, and this like crab lobster dude was like coming after this ugly kid because he'd made fun of him, and we find the kid and he's got a butt for a chin, and then Saitama just frickin' rips his eyeball and innards out, and like, I'm gonna train to be a hero for being the sake of being a hero. And just seeing the seriousness balanced with the comedy and how smartly it's done. Now, granted, I know there's like some issues and everything, but I feel that the issues are put in place because it's making fun of like the rest of anime, like the supersonic dude. He didn't really fit in there, but it was funny to see him kind of just be like, what the hell? I'm like awesome and everything, and Saitama just like taking him out and him not being able to do anything, but then kind of like evolving as the series went on. I really didn't find much at fault with this because it was making fun of like all of the crap that fighting animes were doing and just doing it really well. And I just overall really enjoyed how they delved into the characters and the situations and the craziness that was going on. And I would highly recommend, if you're into fighting animes, if you're into animes making fun of other animes, and if you're just into anime at all, to definitely watch this, because it's 12 episodes, they're coming out with another season, and it's just really well done and really funny and really does good character development and introduces us to a really kind of interesting world with like all the different cities and all the different threats going on, and I hope that we get more because there's so much potential going on, and I think we could just get a lot of cool situations out of this and a lot of funny stuff with making fun of like fighting anime like this. So those are my opinions on the first season of One Punch Man. Tell me what you guys think in the comments below. If you liked it, if you didn't like it, if you agree with me, if you disagree with me. Like and subscribe, and I hope you have a good day.